What's going on, guys? Big Mike D717 Outlaw here with you today. So we're going to finally dig into this TRX and we're going to see what we can get done. I got rained out at work. Any of you that don't know, I'm a heavy equipment operator, so usually rain means no work just because it's unsafe in some of the vehicles. But we're finally going to tear into this TRX, do a little bit of maintenance and some TLC, get this new aluminum grab bar put on. And we're also going to finally get this front bumper mounted up because it has these two bolts, but it doesn't have these two bottom ones, so it moves on us. So after I did a little bit of research and found out from Honda is that they don't necessarily use a very specific bolt and bolt pattern. It's actually a pretty generic one that I can probably go get at the hardware store. And plus it's probably going to be half the cost to go to the hardware store and just pick up some bolts instead of ordering Honda OEM parts, which are, last I saw, they were like $250, $280 a bolt, which I might be able to go pick up all 8 at the hardware store for the same price. So we're going to go run to the hardware store, get these bolts, and hopefully when we get back we'll go ahead and do an oil change on this, and we'll go through the steps on doing an oil change on a ATV, dirt bike, whatever. It's going to be a pretty universal step, but it'll help you get the process going. So alright guys, let's run to the store and get some parts, and we'll be right back. So like I said, it's not anything too special. It's just a bolt flange, probably about 3/4 of an inch long. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get some more of these at the store. That was a much easier stop. $7 for some bolts and washers instead of $2 a piece from Honda. Yeah, I'll take that.
In nostalgia like me. I wanna know, darling, am I dying? Feel like I've been holding on too long.
I think we're all torqued down. We have our grab bar on here finally, and this is a DG Alloy Series grab bar, as you can see from the sticker. So they're pretty lightweight. It's aluminum, or it is some sort of aluminum alloy, and pretty lightweight, and they look pretty good. So we got that mounted up. Now let's go ahead and see if we can get into this oil change. Alright guys, so we have all of our tools out. We have our drain pan, I have my mechanic set along with a torque wrench, which you should always get. Then I have my 2 jugs of oil. If you have the opportunity, check your service manual on your vehicle, or check online just to make sure that you have everything that you need, oil filter, anything like that, and make sure that you have the right grade oil, especially in your area, because some oils work better in different temperatures. Like if you're up in Alaska, they might recommend a different viscosity than versus you're in California, down in Mexico, anything like that. So we have my mechanic set just in case you need any specialty sizes. and plus make sure I have all my sizes. Our torque wrench and a light, and we're going to go ahead and get underneath this thing and drain the oil. Alright guys, so we have our 18 mil socket ready to go, and right up here, this little hole in the frame is where our drain plug is. We're going to go ahead and pull that drain plug out and pull the drain pan in front of it as soon as we can. Well, we're actually going to use the socket to break it loose, but I recommend that if you do that, you should always use your fingers to take it off the rest of the way. That way you can get the pan underneath it and properly drain it. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, so she broke loose. Go ahead and put our socket away. I'm going to try and get this pan underneath it as best I can.
It's on my chin. Ooh, Molly, are you stuck in nostalgia?
Alright, well, we can tell that that oil has not been messed with in a while. It is pretty dark. I don't see any anything metallic in it, so we are good for metal. No metal shavings from the motor. I'm gonna go ahead and let that drain a little bit longer. Alright guys, so kind of in the meantime, while that is still draining, it doesn't hurt to go ahead and check your drain plug bolt and the washer along with it, just to make sure that everything is good, make sure that it will have a good seal when you plug this right back into the motor. And the other thing too is, I know a lot of people, in some aspects of this, when you have a motorcycle or anything that has a oil filter on it, the best thing to do is to do exactly what we just did: drain the pan or drain the crankcase, whatever you might have in your application. And you're going to take, after all the oil is done draining, then pull your filter off, because a lot of times if you pull your filter off, it causes a lot more of a mess, because then you have oil coming out of two holes in the motor, and it can just be a mess. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do it that way, but it causes a mess when you try to do it. Oil filter first, then draining the pan. It's better just to drain all the or most of the oil out first, then pull the filter, let the filter drain, and then go ahead and reapply your new filter, and then go ahead and put in your new or just reuse your old one and apply your old drain pan or old drain plug. Alright, so our oil's pretty much stopped draining. Go ahead and just kind of clean around where the drain plug is going to go in. Once you have your plug cleaned off, go ahead and manually thread it back in, because you do not want to cross thread this, because then that could either means a whole new crankcase, or in your application could mean a new oil pan. Alright, now you can take your socket. You don't want to fully tighten this, just kind of get it a little snug, and then go ahead and pull your socket off. Grab your torque wrench and torque it to spec. This one here, let me grab my torque wrench. Go ahead, this one here is 25 pounds. You're going to go ahead and set her Alright, so we heard it click. Go ahead and just do one more click. She should be torqued down to 25 pounds. Try and keep my tools clean. Go ahead and just kind of wipe underneath, make sure that you get up some of the excess oil that may have gotten on the frame. That way you don't have dripping everywhere. Alright, so I went ahead and removed our cap dipstick. And we're gonna go ahead and dump 1.7 liters in this, or what, not 1.7 liters, 1.7 quarts in here, which is Honda's recommended for this. And then we're gonna go ahead and fire up, let her go for a little bit, and then we'll check the oil after a couple minutes. Recommends in the owner's manual you run it for about 3 to 5 minutes. So we're just going to go ahead and let her run and check back in a second. Alright guys, so in the meantime, while this was warming up, we're going to cut it off here in a minute. I went ahead, cleaned up all my tools, got everything ready. This is also another time too, is that if you can, take whatever oil you drained and put it, whether it's in the old or the new oil can, go ahead, put it in there. And then find a way to dispose it, whether at your local AutoZone, Advanced Auto, maybe you have an oil recycle center anywhere near you, and just dispose of it properly. Guys, this is a little bit later. The quad has cooled down a little bit, so I went ahead and pulled the plug out, and as you can see, we are about 3/4 of the way up the dipstick, which is actually pretty good. You don't want to overfill it, because then overfilling your oil can be bad, whether that's in a car, motorcycle, or anything. But you don't want to be too low. But all right guys, we are good on oil, and we are good with this update on the TRX. We have a lot of new mods coming for this. I'm going to make a little bit of a build series over winter. Now of course the fire siren decides to go off, maybe ruin some of my audio. But as always, I hope you guys like this video. If this is informational to you, please hit that like button. Also, if you want to know anything more about changing oil in another sort of automotive vehicle, maybe you want me to do, go ahead and drop those comments down below, and I'll try to get to you as soon as I can and maybe make another video based on your comments. Alright guys, as always, hit that subscribe button along with the little bell next to it for notifications on the newest videos that I will be putting out. Alright guys, as always, ride safe, ride smart, always wear your helmet, and I'll see you on the next one.